Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is a special edition of Meet the Artist here with Allegory Gallery. And we're here with Jennie DiBeneditto and Andrew. We're going to have a little conversation. Jennie is an enamelist, metalsmith, and ceramicist, right? So we're going to have a little talk with Jennie. We'll give some people a few minutes to filter in. I know we went a little bit earlier than our scheduled time, but hopefully you'll like this. And if you have any questions for any of us, Jennie especially, put them in the comments. And we're far from the camera today, but we'll try and read them, all right? So hopefully you enjoy this, and I will let you two start it out.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great.
So tell us a little bit about your background. Like, where are you from?
Sure. Well, I moved to Pittsburgh area about a year ago.
Okay.
From the Louisville, Kentucky area. I had most recently lived in southern Indiana, Jeffersonville, where I could see and walk across a walking bridge to downtown Louisville, Kentucky.
And you had a shop there, right?
I did. We had a few different shops and community studios and all kinds of things for a few years. A business partner and myself had a paint your own pottery studio where we taught a lot of other classes and hand building with ceramics and sometimes jewelry classes. At one point we had a little gallery right across the street as
That's
well.
cute.
And then they kind of merged together into a new location.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then we knew that we both had big plans on the horizon, moving. She went to Alaska. I went to Pittsburgh. So we, you'd think that, we like broke up and hated each other with this far away, but we still touch base all the time. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I bet they miss you though, because those kind of spaces, those community spaces are so important.
Yeah. I still keep in touch with a lot of the artists and friends that we made back there. But yeah, there were certainly a whole lot of other people involved, but she and I were definitely part of a movement to get, arts incorporated more into our town through our shops. We had started a community arts organization, the Jeffersonville Arts Alliance. And, she at one point was the public arts administrator for the city. And there's now a whole certified arts and cultural district.
People keep that going. I hope so.
Yeah. So there's a really cool project that they're doing there right now where for the community, they're inviting each neighborhood, I forget what they're calling it, but they're inviting each neighborhood to come up with a theme to paint a door with, and then they're going to be like a sculptural door installation somewhere where local artists are partnering with the community groups to help realize their designs and make sure that it's not just, the artists, who are calling themselves professional artists in the community that are being part of it, but getting all of the neighborhood organizations involved.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Well, you're all about community, and that's how we met.
Yep.
Through contemporary craft.
Absolutely.
So tell them your news.
Yeah, I am official 2 days ago, the new artist in residence at Contemporary Craft, taken in after Andrew.
Yeah.
Gonna make some hopefully amazing work. We'll see how it goes.
And you teach there, and you also teach
at the Pittsburgh Center for Art and Media. Currently, at the moment, I'm teaching a precious metal clay class or a silver metal clay there.
Awesome. And how long are your classes usually?
A variety. At Contemporary Craft, we have some that'll be like 1 day Saturday classes. Eventually there might be some like 2 day weekend classes. Okay. But there's also ones that are in series. So this fall there'll be a cloisonné class, cloisonné enameling that I believe will be Tuesday evenings for 3 hours for 8 weeks in a row.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So we might be going live from Contemporary Craft on Tuesdays because
right,
like
you'll be there.
In today's class, we're gonna
for sure.
And remember, everyone, if you have any questions for Jennie, please put them in the comments. And whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, we'll check our comments here and ask them. All right?
I see a couple of people.
Yeah,
Nancy's watching. Marianne's watching. I feel like I need my glasses.
Sandra, Norma. I can't reach to put your comments up. So We had to pull it back so we could fit all three of us in the camera.
And not have our faces like touch.
Right? Yeah, we're trying to stay. We're all vaccinated. We're all good, but we're just trying to, keep that distance a little bit.
But plus also, who wants to breathe that warm air?
Yeah,
Right?
that's not my thing.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Unless it's a cat.
Yeah.
And then I'll share that.
Of course you will.
They don't particularly love it, but
Cher is with us now, tuning in. Hello. So if you are out there, if you missed the beginning of this, we're with Jennie DiBeneditto, and she is an enamelist, a metalsmith, and a ceramicist who is now at the metal program in contemporary craft as the artist in residence, replacing Andrew's outgoing artist in residence. And so if you're in Pittsburgh, make sure you stop in and say hi. And if you have any questions, let us know in the comments and we'll ask.
Yeah, they have a great fiber show. The Fiber International shows that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, we spent some time yesterday because we just happened to be there at the same time. And that was fun too. And we looked at the show. And they have two shows. There's the fiber show, and then there's a small polymer clay show along the back area. I hate to say it's by the bathroom because then people like by the bathroom.
It's the visitor rest area.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it has a name on it. It says visitor rest area.
So they can contemplate artwork while they're thinking of going to the
they're
bathroom.
resting.
While they're resting.
While they're resting.
Don't make this about going to the bathroom again, Andrew.
Well,
he always veers the conversation that way these days.
But I mean, it is what happens when you have a gallery in front of the restrooms.
It is what it is. At least a lot of people pass it.
Yeah, it's a highly trafficked area.
Yeah, a very
Good
restful, high traffic area. No, but it's an incredible show. A lot of wonderful, super talented people. And they just switched out all of the jewelry, and the whole gallery area is switched out.
Yeah.
And there's some really cool things.
Yeah.
And you win the lotto.
I know.
And then I'll just be like, one from me, one from me.
There's a lot of cool artwork there.
Yeah, it's an inspiring, for me, I'm excited I have a tiny basement studio, which I love, but, it's me down there by myself. There's room for my husband to walk past to be able to do some laundry, but that's about it. There's not really room for two people to be working in that studio. So I'm excited to be spending time in the gorgeous studio spaces with all the windows and light, but also you just can't help but be inspired when you go in there, right?
Yeah.
With all of the work that's around.
And the people.
Yeah, not only the shows, but the work for sale.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beautiful work for sale there too.
Yeah, they just the whole top shelves are all changed. So there's the new work from the New Leap award winners. So that's a program that they started to encourage emerging artists to kind of boost themselves into getting ready for sales and galleries. So I think Kate Leiden started that, if I'm not mistaken, which it was her last day too, the other day. But she's retiring after like 25 years. So a little bit longer than I was.
Just a little, right?
Just a little bit.
Sylvia says, hello all, looking forward to seeing Jennie's creations. Yes, so we put where is it? Over here, that's the Instagram account, if you'd like to follow Jennie over there. We also have in the description of this video links to the Instagram account and her website.
So what's your favorite thing to do right now?
Well, I love enameling. That's kind of where I say I'm focusing, and it ties in perfectly, with my ceramics background. I think every potter is maybe like a little bit of a pyromaniac, and that follows well into metalsmithing and enameling. Yeah. I've got my kiln and torches. But what I'm going to be doing, I'm also a graphic designer. So a lot of my work traditionally, I always said, like, if you see my work, it's going to have really bold patterns and really bright, punchy colors. But I made some pieces earlier this year that are a little bit out of my normal wheelhouse, and they're more earth tones and organic and sculptural. And I want to explore that for a little while. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on.
Are those your metallic ones?
Yeah. So using transparent enamels directly on the metal and doing some special firing techniques. And they have to be, suppose you could do one firing for a really long time, but for better control of the enamel, I usually do, 2 or 3 minute firings, but like 20 of them to get to the point where it starts looking very like lustrous and golden.
And they do.
Yeah, and you kind of spin them around in the light and they sparkle in different ways. Transparent enamel over copper, if you don't fire it long enough, that copper oxide is still under there and they can have a lot of like a red undertone and kind of look matte finished underneath of that enamel. But when you just keep firing them and heating them up, that all that oxide melts into or is absorbed by the enamels, and you can get some really like golden metallic.
I think I saw, was it Ricky Frank? He talks about clearing your enamels, and that's that.
Yeah, clearing the enamel is to let that copper oxide absorb into the enamel. And some colors do it better than others. Like wax yellow, a Thompson enamel color, is one that just is like absorbs that oxide so much faster than some of the other colors.
Yeah, I noticed some of the colors because I pretend like I'm an enamelist, not like Jenny has like an amazing collection of work that she's created, and me, I'm like, well, look what I made. You like what I made, everyone? And but like I've noticed like greens and stuff work better. We tried to do purple, and it looked like somebody poo-pooed on the... And it was not.
There's also, there's some colors that just don't work well on copper. Some colors work better on silver. Some of them work better on gold, but that's out of my normal budget, for enameling on gold, just to play around with.
Right. I've never tried it.
Yeah.
Never been lucky enough.
Right? No. I have a little tiny thing of like gold leaf, but it's like a gold foil. It's not like a real gold. Like, I guess the difference is like a micron difference. I was like, I don't even know what that is, but apparently it's thicker.
Yeah.
And so it's this little tiny booklet. One that I'm saving for a very special project.
I have one sheet of gold foil for enameling that I have yet to use, kind of for the same thing. I was like, I feel like it needs to be special.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do it. One of these days I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's like when you save the party clothes for the special occasion. I'm like, never just save that. Just
make it the
wear
special
your
occasion
party
now.
clothes. But I want to actually get technically proficient enough so that it's not like just pitching it in the garbage.
I did, fingers crossed, apply for a grant that will be decided like in late August or September. And if I got that, part of my project in there would be expanding on this series of work, but also kind of expanding to even nicer materials. And part of the budget that I allotted for that was getting some gold foil, or more gold foil and gold for accents on pieces.
Nice.
So
now, in the pieces of gold that you have in were they just like pieces of gold, or was it gold foil? Like, 'cause you have those little dots and some of them.
So I incorporated onto one of my pieces on the chain. It was actually recycled gold from a bracelet that someone had gifted me to be reclaimed. It wasn't like a gift for me. It was for me to recycle. But I cut up the links from that and made little kind of gold granulation to incorporate.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Because you made a necklace and an earring, right?
Yeah.
Good job. And if you didn't see, you made your name tag too, right?
I did, yeah. Cloisonne name tag. The most expensive name tag that I will ever have.
Well, you took a picture yesterday, right? On your stories, I think it was in there.
Yeah, but you have to like zoom way in.
Yeah, go to my Instagram
That's
there
right.
and
check it out.
You can see
it. So if you are watching, just to let you know, please hit the like, hit the thumbs up. Facebook and YouTube, they like that. They like to see that you like our content. If you like our content, please hit the thumbs up, hit the love, hit the like. Please subscribe. I like to throw that in there. Make sure you follow Jenny over here on Instagram and go to her website and check stuff out too.
Yeah. And then you do other things too.
I like to do all kinds of things. I kind of paint. I'm a graphic designer. I don't paint realistic things. Like I could not paint a picture of any person. I don't go there. But I work during the day as a graphic designer. In Jeffersonville, Indiana, they painted power utility boxes for street lights. So they have this mini mural collection. So I have 3 or 4 of those painted. Some of them might be painted over soon because they're old enough that they've been kind of weathered. But
that's still cool.
My husband and I collaborated to make like some pretty large scale steel sculptures where we.
That's neat.
I designed them, but then we had a fabricator cut them out and weld them, and then they came back to me to be painted.
Cool.
So I'm always up for like new challenges.
Nice. Yeah. And then we were talking yesterday about how sometimes we feel like almost like multiple personalities. And so on one side of her bench, there were these plant eyes.
Yeah.
And then on the other side was like these, the fold formed pieces. And
yeah, so I have that kind of, dichotomy of always fighting within me. Do I do those like bright, super punchy, fun things, or something that's maybe more somber and serious?
Yeah.
And, sometimes you do both at the same time. I have, during the pandemic, it let me realize that I do not kill every plant that I have as long as I'm actually there to water them.
Yeah.
And then I don't have any
fake,
pets or anything, so I started making eyeballs for my plants, and they're hilarious. I make plant eyeballs. And
now, did you make the eyeballs that's on the rolling mill, or was that Lauren?
That was Lauren made those.
So we both took a class with Lauren Markley, and I saw her doing stuff like off to the side, but I didn't know. And then all of a sudden, there's a cover on the rolling mill so dust doesn't get in. Because if you get dust and grit into the mechanism, it can get it to stop working. So she sewed eyes onto the thing.
Eyeballs on it.
So it looks like this little creature, swamp creature, because it's like this army green color.
I mean, I was also a fan of like putting googly eye stickers on things. Yeah. So plant eyeballs is like in it.
Next
you can get those on your Etsy, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have that in the link, but we can add that in the link after.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I go through that too, because one side of me likes like fairies and fantasy and all kinds of magic, which is not to say that isn't serious in its own way, but then the other side is like, we'll make the generational trauma work so people can cry and weep into a cup, which I should make a weeping cup now.
Weeping cup, there you go.
There you go.
But I like the plant eyeball side of me. So in my day job as a graphic designer, I sometimes have, Teams meetings, Zoom meetings with, very professional, people running Medicaid and Medicare plans for states. And I, as a creative, like the fact that I have like plants with eyeballs behind me in the background, just kind of keep things weird.
I wonder if they've ever seen your eyeball plants and then been like, oh, I should get eyeball plants.
I've actually thought about making a little QR code to have in the background with me to, stay in that, and here's where you get your plant.
You never know
eyeballs.
when the suits need the plant
eyeballs,
right?
Well, if they're on their phone, then it would would it automatically read their?
I'm not sure.
Probably not through Zoom.
Because I was like, it has to be like
brilliant. Screenshot. I know, right?
It would just automatically.
I'm just gonna put QR codes now on the walls.
People are gonna be like, "What's happening?"
I've seen fiber artists who have like a cross-stitched QR code behind them.
Does it actually work?
It does, yeah. You have to like print out the actual QR code pattern, and they have it like as like an 8-inch by 8-inch square behind them.
That's cool.
Right? So you all can do like a woven beaded.
There you go, beaded QR code. Get on it, Andrew.
I don't know. I'm already getting tired from it. That's like a lot of.
Yeah. Well, I'm also excited. I have no idea what I'll do with them, but I checked out the Allegory Gallery in-person store and loaded up on some goodies that I'm hoping to incorporate into this new enameled work somehow.
Nice.
I don't know how it's going to happen yet.
See what's going to happen
but
yet.
Something is brewing.
You did a technique where you melted beads.
Yeah.
And
The ones I got today are too nice for that, though, and they're not all glass,
Okay.
so we're not going to be melting those.
No.
Yeah.
But I'll send you with a goodie bag of
meltable beads.
Melty.
Yeah, glass.
Melty friends.
Some nice high quality glass seed beads.
Yeah.
Melt down. And actually, I did some opaque beads on like a dark background.
Yeah.
And it made me think of a really colorful, like embroidery kind of cross stitch, but like, so I think it would be fun to line them up in like following a cross stitch pattern or something.
Yeah.
And it would look.
That's neat.
I don't know. I have like Swedish heritage, and my grandparents always had all the like needlepoint Swedish kind of designs, and the little sample I did just to see what the colors look like reminded me of
That's
like
cool.
needlepoint in
cool.
enamel. Yeah.
Well, when my sister Cynthia came out with her book, we did some experiments with seed beads, and we used a torch, and that was not because they snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "That's my eyebrow."
Yeah.
You know. So that I would not recommend. But in the kiln, it's a little bit more.
Or if you did the torch, do it from the bottom.
Yeah.
Not from the top.
So there isn't quite so a festive.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna.
We try to avoid spraying
molten
flammable,
glass into your eyes, or sharp things in your eyes.
Yeah.
Safety first, children. Right.
That's right. Safety first.
Or have that emergency hospital insurance.
That's not currently on the plans right now. So I would have to like maim myself in traffic and then just pretend that the CV's got in there somehow. I'm not committing fraud currently. Let's see if anybody has questions for you, Jenny. We can't stay too long because we're gonna maybe do some crafting, our very own crafting adventures.
Craftapalooza.
I turned the kiln on, y'all.
The kiln is on and ready.
It takes an hour, so maybe this was like a plot, like a ploy. Lock the door real fast. If you have to make something, otherwise I'm not gonna open it. No kidnapping. No kidnapping.
So if you have any questions for Jenny, put them down now because we're going to be going soon. So if you have any questions, otherwise you can always follow Jenny here. Where am I? Here. Can't do it. On Instagram or go to the website. It's linked in the description of this video.
Well, I just thought about.
What did you just think about?
That Essex serpent that we watched with Claire Danes and that dude.
Yes.
Their faces were so close. And
you want to get our faces closer?
No. He was doing this arm motion, and I was like, I'm feeling like Claire Danes a little bit like right now. But you know what? They ended up together, and then so that's fine, right? They kill off somebody, but whatever. So yeah, and then so you were one of the few people who sold something in the Adorn Spaces. Yeah, that was exciting.
It was.
Was it the silkscreen ones?
Yeah, so those incorporated, so that's like my graphic designer side of like the super punchy colors. And that incorporated silkscreen and stenciling and using rubber stamps and an adhesive. So it had like 3 or 4 layers built up. But the main ones you could see is like a cobalt blue and this, the enamel name is bitter green. So like this really punchy kind of lime green color together.
Nice. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not just like free associating.
A little bit.
Well, if you called it out, then people are going to know. But we were up at SNAG, which is the Society of North American Goldsmiths, and they have this thing called the Adorn Spaces, and that's where different groups or individuals can pitch these like pop-up exhibitions. And so you get like a table, and then you just do whatever on the table. And so for the Alleghenies Metal Collective, which we're both in, they had a show called something or another. I can't remember. Yeah. It's been a month, but
a long time.
So anyways, they're all earrings, and it's kind of like our interpretations of being an artist in the time of COVID, all things considered.
Yes. Yeah.
Isn't that the show, the name of a podcast? Or a show on NPR?
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds about right.
We might be getting some
BBC, NPR, one of those things.
copyright problems for
it's over now.
for our jewelry show.
It's over. It's done. It's
Yeah, but it was nice because they, every artist that submitted earrings also kind of wrote a little bit something about, you know, how creativity helped you during the pandemic, or how you got through, and what you were able to create during that time.
And then the people who led the exhibition, I think it was Stacy and her husband Todd, they made these kind of like stylized houses where our pictures were, and then on top of that, like in front, they're on this giant wheel that had the posts with the earrings. Mm-hmm. And so you sold some, and then I think another artist named Shari. I could be making this up. Oh, and then of course Sharon Massey sold some. So
yeah.
I didn't though.
We have one question. Jenny, will you still be at Contemporary Craft in early December? I usually visit Pittsburgh that month and would love to stop in, says Norma.
My residency is 3 months, so I go through September. But I am hoping to have some more classes on the books there as well. And especially getting to that time of year, maybe doing some fun one-day classes where we get to use those silk screening techniques and things. You know, in my mind, it could be for ornaments, but it could also be the same class could be for like large pendants or things.
How about this? What if we voluntold Allison and Norma lets us know when she's going to be coming to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And then we'll all like congregate at Contemporary Craft and have like an ornament off.
I like it.
In the metal studio.
Yes.
So you do some enameling and some, I don't know what I was shouting, like here's some crystal clay.
Sign me up.
Here's some epoxy clay. No, which I actually did teach a class there. But anyways, so I think we have naturally reached the end. Otherwise, I'm going to give you a countdown of 10 seconds. Do it, William.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No more questions.
No more questions.
Oh.
Norma. Usually the second week of the month, she says. That would be great.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also hopefully the weather's good, because sometimes
December is tricky
in Pittsburgh with slip slidey roads.
But we'll make it work.
Yeah. I think
it'll
be fun.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed meeting Jenny. And if you like these, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and let us know you like the Meet the Artist series, and maybe we'll find some other people to talk to.
We have one in the back behind.
They say no.
No. You could do it behind like a mask or something. Be very like avant-garde, or like a veil, or like a hood or something.
Backlight, like could be very creative.
Like the people witness protection program.
All right, everyone. Thank you so very much.
And thank you, Jenny.
For
hanging out.
Glad to be here.
Okay. Reach up here. Bye, everybody.